What's going on, everybody? Your Dark Avenger Chris here. Along with me is my brother Mike, and we are here once again for another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review. What's up, Scotty? And what is up, Legend? Now, I apologize if I look, because I kind of been feeling a little the past couple of days, so my apologies for that. Might be a cold. It could be a mixture of several different things. So
everybody's getting sick nowadays,
I'm sure. So I'm not feeling the greatest, but pre-show time for a little bit. So what's going on? Frontline, we had a really awesome live show last night. If you missed it, go check it out. Michael and I are going to work hard now that we're going into the first week of August. As a matter of fact, today is August 1st. Happy August, everybody. I'm sure everyone who's off on summer break for school hates this month because either you're going back to school or you're getting ready to go back to school.
They go back to school in August.
They go back to school in August, but they were off since May. So technically you had your 2 months off, and people who live up here, you have another month off. So, and Scotty's in August, baby. So happy birth month, Scotty. Can't wait for your birthday. Let us know when in Discord. But anyway, beside the point, for the second month of summer, we are hoping to catch back up on reviews. We're hoping for next week. Whatever week is the lightest, or whichever week I can sit down and get all of my books read the quickest, is when we will be back on Mondays. Hopefully it'll be this coming Monday. I'm really hoping for that. I believe Kat said it was a light week. And usually if it's a light week for Kat, it's a light week for me. By the way, just really quickly speaking of Kat, want to thank Kat once again for the awesome present. If you look on Comic Book Corner, sorry for the sheets, ignore the sheets. The Superman comic she got us, which is right between Nightwing and TMNT on the second row. Looks beautiful on Comic Book Corner. Cat, thanks so much once again for the awesome comic. Love it.
And
no, mine's in May. I just like saying August, baby. Oh, you're in May. You're with me. Okay, got you, Scotty. That's right. I think we were wishing you a happy birthday during May, along somewhere close to my time. But what?
No, I was saying, and I was going to say, and I liked my gifts as well. But.
Yes, Mike's gifts are scattered around the room. He's going to put the pins, I think, in his classroom, he said, and I have to find a place for the ice cream because it looks awesome. But anyways, other than that, Dark Avenger podcast has been put off. As you all know, we have been going through a lot medically with our dad. Gee, I have a cut here, and it shows up on sorry about that. We didn't get good news. Long story short, we got really, really bad news. And I was asked not to share specifics, so I'm not going to. But the news was very, very, very bad. And I mentioned that we were getting the results this past Monday, and we were hoping for the best, but we got what we were kind of expecting, maybe a little worse. So there's a lot going on our end, so hopefully you all will understand it. We're going to try, like I said, to get back to a norm as quick as possible, but now we know what's going to be going on moving forward. My birthday is the day before August 21st, Frontline Live. Oh, gotcha, Legend. Okay, so Legend is an August baby. Gotcha. So with all that's been going on, we're just hoping to get a norm going for the channel as we go through what we're going through behind the scenes. I don't want it to come out front of the screen what's going on behind the scenes. That's why even when I'm sick, I try to muster up at least a little bit of extra oomph, so you guys can't even tell I'm sick. Unless my nose is like super, super clogged, then you can tell, but I don't think you can tell on video. All reviews from the Batcave is here. Chad or Rich, one of the two, or maybe both. Awesome. Love having you guys here. My thoughts and prayers of you guys. Thank you so much, Scotty. Happy early birthday, Legend. Okay. So I think that's the Dark Avenger podcast. Because of all that's going on, it's been delayed. It will be soon, though. I will really, truly be setting that up soon now that we know what's happening in the near and distant future at this point, so we know what to expect. So now I can plan around that. So the Dark Avenger podcast will be up. I will be streaming a game or two on Twitch every now and again soon. I am also working on my writing. So I'm going to be writing on Facebook a little bit. On my notes, they'll be public. So if you don't want to friend me on Facebook, it'll still be public. And also, I'm going to be trying to get back into the Frontline reviews, doing at least 2 or 3 books from DC a week. That'll be later on, soon later on. There are a few video series, like I said, that we're going to be doing on this channel soon, possibly bringing Dark Avenger Live back as well. Also, on Brooklyn Boys, right now we're doing it this week from Nintendo. As a matter of fact, one of the game that was going to be released this week, was delayed, so it's not coming out this week. We might cancel it. I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 on it, but if because of that, I might make a Funko order to make up for it. So we're going to try to make Brooklyn Boys a skit/unboxing channel. We're going to see how that goes, and obviously we're always in for the entertainment, so we're definitely going to be entertaining you guys on Brooklyn Boys, just like we entertain you guys here and keep you informed about comics. So I think, is there anything else? Mention Brooklyn Boys. So like I said, all the unboxing stuff is over on Brooklyn Boys now. So if you're looking for unboxings, check that out there. The monthly haul, if anybody's wondering, check out the review. I think it was 3 weeks ago. Our physical copies are dropping dramatically because of expenses for the family, because of what's going on. And now it's kind of, because there's going to be even more medical expenses. It's going to remain that way, if not smaller. So, you know, I love Superman. You know, I love TMNT. And, you know, a few other series I love. Those are what I'm getting physically at this point. Mostly everything else is going to be digital. It's going to be online. You know, God hope we never lose internet, because then bye-bye comics. But is what it is, unfortunately. Hopefully things will get better sooner rather than later. But in the reality of it all, we don't know. It's all in God's master plan. And I mentioned Discord. And once again, if you are not following Frontline's Discord, awesome, amazing community there. Link is in the description. And also, I'm a part of the Dysfunctional Gaming Discord, which is a wonderful gaming Discord. If you are a gamer and you're looking for a community of people to talk with, if you're a PC gamer especially, go check out Dysfunctional Gaming. I am not a PC gamer. I haven't actually been in Dysfunctional for a while because of all that's been going on, but Dysfunctional Gaming is an awesome gaming community. Let them know Dark Avenger sent you. And we'll get to promotions for live shows and whatnot at the end of the show, like we always do. So, with that, we are going to cover the books that were released this week, which were
past week, actually.
The past week.
The last week of July 25th, 2018.
So we're going back in time.
Yeah, now there are digitals, but I have 3 physicals with me because for some odd reason
you couldn't get covers
not there, but I have physicals, like one from the Indies, one from Marvel, one for DC. So it all, you know, it'll be spread around. But your book is first.
So, Saga issue 54, the last issue. Comics and games get me through tough times. Exactly, Scotty. That's exactly what we're doing here. So when it comes to the last issue, it's going to be a year, a whole year, meaning we will not be talking about Saga again until this time in 2019. That's summer of, not even, because this is the last week of July, and knowing, you know, they take their break, it'll probably be around September of next year. September 2019, the end of 2019 almost, is when we will be talking about Saga again. And is that a smart move? Isn't that a smart move? I mean, when it was 4 months, 5 months, even the 4 and 5 months, like Birthright, it's only been about 5 or 6 months, and already it's like, wow, I have not read Birthright, and it feels like forever. Going back in, I'm going to have to do a little refresher. A whole year, I'm sure that this series might suffer just a tiny bit because of it, or maybe not. People like myself that are very dedicated to the series will be sticking around. We'll be there in a year when issue 55 comes out. And boy, oh boy, did they end this series. Well, not end it. Did they put this, you know, what's the word, season finale in with a bang. Number 1, we know Prince Robot was killed in the last issue. Number 2, Alana was hurt. And now number 3, my phone, sorry about that. And now number 3, on top of that, I don't know why people call me when they know that I'm live. And then number 3, on top of that, we have the ending of this issue, which, spoiler alert, this whole issue was Marco versus the Will. Marco, at least that's what it looks like by the end of this issue, Marco dies or is killed. to be continued. Now, is he dead? Will he come back? Will there somehow be a way that he's healed? Now, again, the way the book's written is like the daughter is writing this as an older woman. Now, did Marco die? Or was it just written to look that way? And then, you know, the series will start up and somehow he medically was, you know, saved or helped or whatever. I don't know. But he could be dead. Who knows? I mean, we all know the only definite thing we know is that the daughter lives throughout the whole thing. And even then, we're not 100% sure. Quick, I need to call Chris, talk to him about... No, don't do that, Alan. Don't do that. Godzilla helps me get through. Yeah, I know that. I know that, Alan. And what's going on, Alan, by the way. But in the end, I think it was great. I love the flashback with Marco and his daughter talking about, you know, she's like, I don't want to have kids when I grow up, and I'm sure it's not going to happen. He's like, as long as you're nice and good to others, that's all that matters. Ha ha, Brant. What's going on, Brant? And you don't know what Brant's talking about. You missed something somewhere. Something funny, but still. Dude, F5, Kurt A. Oh. Okay. So anyway, that was wrestling talk from Alan I was reading. So anyway, I'm going to be sad to see this go for a year. I will say that.
Big Trouble in Little China, Old Man Jack, issue number 11. The next issue is going to be the conclusion to, I guess, the Old Man Jack series because it said to be concluded. But just to keep this short, Jack gets reunited with some people, you know, in, I guess, the heaven where he's in, so to say. And he's trying to get people together because there's like, because Lopan is really trying to make Jack's life a living hell, because they did say that after 30 years that I planned that when you die, I was going to take your soul and everything and end you and all that stuff. And then I like how in the end, everybody that Jack knew, even though he was so mean to them or stuff like that, are going after Lopan. I love the pun that Jack put in saying, Lopan, you're in big trouble. Like Big Trouble in Little China. I thought that was funny. And that's to be continued until the next issue. So the way they're going to conclude it, I have no idea how they're going to conclude it, but it's going to be something to see. And hopefully the next, what? I love the cover Kurt Russell spot on. Absolutely, yeah. But we're looking to see how that's going to end. Harbinger Wars II, issue number 3, is from Valiant. And I'm sort of getting a little bit of the hang of what's going on. Like, the only thing that I see that is the one that I'm not sure whose side he's on is Bloodshot. Because Bloodshot is like, you know, here, there, and everywhere, and talks with, oh, why can't I remember the name for life of me? I think Tessa or Tia. Like that little girl, I can't remember what her name is, but basically Bloodshot, Atama, that's her name. And meanwhile, you have Arak and Jack that are trying to help out with the whole thing. Faith makes an appearance also with that, and it's a little bit all over the place still of trying to get what's going on. But Arak is more of the Exo Manowar, is more of the pinpoint that actually goes to the close encounter with Bloodshot, but things probably won't look good for Arak until we see what happens in the next issue, if so. But it's going to be, like, I'm trying to think, like, it's an okay series, but it's just a little bit all over the place. Like, I know what's going on, and I don't want to give too much away because I want you guys to read it. But I would say pick it up, but if you're going to read this now, you're not going to know what the hell's going on. So I would get issues 1 and 2, just so that way you know what's going on. That matter.
All right, Brent, thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Now we could go on to Your book.
And that's right. Before Brant leaves, though, I do want to mention Little Ember. It's promoted all over. If you're on the Frontline Discord, you already know this. Little Ember went live on Kickstarter today. If you haven't backed that Kickstarter yet and you're looking for some awesome books, check out Little Ember. All ages book. So good for the whole family. TMNT issue number 84, and I will talk about the Kickstarter again at the end. I just wanted to promote that while Brent was here, so you all know, and Brent could put a link in if he didn't disappear already. And if he did, Alan, please put a link in. I liked it. Turtles versus Rat King. It was Leo on a psychic front and the other three on a physical front. And he's controlling these kids, these children, and what happens in the end is Baxter Stockman brings in the Mousers along with his Flybots, and they defeat the rats and all the other stuff that Rat King was controlling, and the turtles save the kids. And basically, Rat King gets away in the end. Thank you, Brent, for sharing the link. Check out that link. But the kids now, these are orphan kids that live on the street, so they bring them to Splinter because obviously the Foot Clan is the only place where, and with Splinter leading it, where the turtles feel the kids will be safe. And Brent deleted the link. I guess it didn't work, so he's gonna fix the link. Hold on, everybody. Great issue. Turtles is great, and from what I hear, from what Kat was telling me, a lot is being built up for issue 100, and I am excited for that. That's the Turtles. I'm sorry if I'm short this week, everybody. I'm trying to. There we go. There's the correct link.
All right, X-Men Manowar issue number 17, which was reviewed on Comic Frontline. And just to get a long story short, in this book, Sabbath finally meets the man with the golden hair from what he saw in his visions. And Arak is trying to get to Rome because that's his quest. And we find out a little bit more about Sabbath's story, along with like the artwork. I just gotta show you. The artwork is drawn really amazing. Like the artwork, I really love the artwork in this book. And with all that, of course, you know, Arak gets in trouble with one of the soldiers because he started a fight with them and everything. And then Arak actually meets up with Sabbath again in the prison, and Sabbath talks about how there was like this Coliseum where there's this person that he fought, and then he predicted something bad was going to happen to him, which it did. So now both of them are sentenced to death, sent into the Coliseum, and where it's going to go from that, we don't know until next time. So it's really getting heated up here, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they're going to get out of that. Now, this series, it's been really, really long, and it's actually the last issue of this. I think it's been like half a year since I've read this. Spirit Hunters, issue number 12 of 12, the final issue to this. And wow, the way they ended it, I don't think they're going to end it. I think it's going to come back, and I'm going to tell you why when we get to it. So all of them are going to this haunted house to figure out, you know, what's going on there. And meanwhile, you have Vera, who could interact with the spiritual stuff out there and all that. Hello, Cookie. And so, yeah, so there's this person that comes to I can't remember what her name is, but Morgan. So she talks with Morgan, like saying, you know, why are you doing this to me and all my friends? And then she's like saying, you know, oh, I have the power to do all that. So all of her friends are going through scenarios that it's like they're awoken in a different world of their own, but instead of it being in a good way, it's actually in a bad way. And it's like really something else here. And I think who gets it the most, well, everybody really gets it the most, actually, with that. And even Michael, I feel bad for his character when he thought they met with Jenny and she turned out to be not who she thought. So then Morgan's like saying, you know, I want to make a deal with you, and if you accept this deal, I will let your friends live. And what she does is that she accepts the deal and sacrifices herself to Morgan after all this calamity happened. And the way she sacrificed herself was really a heartfelt moment. And one person, I can't remember his name, but I think it's, I don't know if it's Ferg or whatever. Someone in the group is still not awake. And he was actually sent to hell. And this reminded me actually of the Supernatural. Remember that Supernatural where Dean was in hell when he's like saying, "Can somebody help me, Sam?" That gave me that creepy goosebump moment. I'm even getting goosebumps right now thinking of it. So it says the end for now. What a way they ended it. It was a genius way of ending it. So Spirit Hunters, you really did it. Just, I applaud you for that. That was the best cliffhanger ending for now, and I hope you guys come up with a volume 2. Definitely get trade paperback for all that. Now, this comic book, under certain circumstances, I did review for Frontline, but I will probably sometime this week, maybe tomorrow, to schedule it. Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 7. Sonic meets up with a arch enemy, and that arch enemy, of course, he goes back with Tails with doing an adventure for that. Meeting with Dr. Eggman, he's like saying, "Wait a minute, are you trying to pull my leg or something? Because I just saw you before." But I was right. Dr. Eggman's Mr. Tinker was a clone. And I knew it was a clone because that's how Dr. Eggman works, of course, to distract Sonic. So in comes in Neo Metal Sonic. And if for those of you who know your video games, you know definitely who Neo Metal Sonic is. And he's the person that actually takes copies of powers that you give to him. So he copied Sonic's powers and speed. All that was really amazing. I love the artwork, especially with the battle that Sonic had with Neo Metal Sonic and destroyed his ship and talked with the group about what's going on. And it looks like that Silver actually is going to be making his appearance in the next issue. And I don't know what some people have a beef with Silver. I like Silver. I mean, I don't know if, what some people have. I mean, the
bother's from the game, not from the character.
I mean, look, I respect you guys' opinion, but in my opinion, I like Silver. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing him in the upcoming issue next month, or this month for that matter. Better than Taskmaster. Well, that's true.
All right, Venom, we're in Marvel now, big 2. Venom issue number 4. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the way I feel this week. Maybe it's because I read all my books in the past 48 hours. Maybe it's a little bit of everything. I don't know. I don't care. The Click-Tar thing, I thought it was cool when the symbiote got, we found out more about its origin, and it's from a planet, and they're Guardians of the Galaxy. They're kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy. They watch over the galaxy. And then you read Venom issue 4, and it's like, oh yeah, all that stuff from the Agent or Venom Space Knight, which started in Guardians of the Galaxy, is all just a front for this dude. The bad guy in here is the one that created everything. He was from the very beginning of time, and he created, made the Click-Tars believe they were good. Originally, they were all evil. It's like, Marvel, if you want to retcon something, look, create something and stick with it. If you don't like it, tough. This is like, oh, we didn't like what we did last year. Too many people made fun of us, so now or we weren't satisfied, so we're going back and we're retconning it now. And I don't know. I'm not. This doesn't feel like Venom to me. I want to see. If you read Lethal Protector, if you read, what was it, Separation Anxiety, that was Venom. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not invested in this whole. We're going back again with Origin. Maybe when this arc's over, I'll feel. I'll enjoy it a little bit more. But they're stretching out the mythos instead of focusing on the present. They're working on, hey, other people wore the Venom symbiote before Brock. So apparently now, when the Venom symbiote, when Spiderman put it on for the first time, that too was not the first time it was on Earth. Now there was Venom symbiote, or symbiotes period, before it. It's like, come on, really? You're going to work on the past, work on the present. Don't worry about the past. The past is over. We want the present. It's all about those booty shorts. Speaking of booty shorts, X-23 issue number 2. I enjoyed X-23 issue number 2. From Gabi to, well, we knew one of the cuckoos was going to be killed because we saw it at the end of last issue. So now there's this master plan that they want to push to save their other sister before she suffers the same fate because they don't know that one sister killed the other. So what do? They need DNA from Weapon X. And where are they going to go? Gabi. So they attack Laura and they kidnap Gabi. Very short, this issue. It felt like the way I explained it is the way I felt like I read it. Literally, in and out. You know, I was done with the book before it truly even felt like it started. And it's like, oh, well, that's the end. The next issue. Okay. We'll save Gabi, Laura. And Gabi's still not letting up about that birthday thing, and I do not blame her one bit. God, I know it's not because I'm sick when it comes to this. Infinity Wars Prime one-shot. You think Thanos is going to be the big bad guy from Infinity War this time? Well, you're wrong. Marvel's going the opposite route of the movie. Thanos, as a matter of fact, is killed by the dude on the cover in this issue. Literally beheaded. This guy apparently he has targets, and his target is for the Infinity Stones and to destroy Earth and everybody. And basically, it was Thanos that he kills first. So Thanos isn't the big bad guy for Infinity War. It's going to be this dude. And Requiem. Thank you, Tevia. What's up, Tevia? Yeah, Requiem. And I really like Prime. It was in my top 10. I'm just tired of the Marvel events. I really am. And I was let down by what was it called now? Countdown to War? Countdown to Infinity? So I don't know. Obviously, I'm still going to be reading it. I mean, maybe the series will be good. I mean, it's not Thanos, so it already took away the predictability to it. But I'm going to need a bit more. Take that, Thanos. Exactly. All right, I will give you that. That it was a shock. I was not expecting Thanos to be beheaded. But if you think about it, it also explains why Thanos was in Thor this week, or last week. Which is weird because they kind of spoiled it without really anybody taking it as a spoiler because Thanos was in hell. So I guess that was cool that it's kind of like that. They revealed Requiem's identity in today's Infinity War book. Oh, cool. So we'll find out that when we read Infinity War #1, which apparently came out this week. Tevia, we don't want to know who it is right now.
That was from Brian.
No. Yes, I know that they revealed it, but Tevia asked, who is it? And I'm going to remove that because that's a spoiler for a book that we didn't read and is not part of this review.
I was just going to say hi.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so hi, Brian. That's all.
Yes, we don't want to know. But I thought that was a really good twist. And again, I will be reading the Marvel event because I'm going to be reading it. Will I be buying it physically? No, I will be reading it all digitally this time around. I'm going to be a bit smarter. Because it's going to start off awesome, and I hope I'm wrong, Marvel starts off very strong, and then by the end of the arc, something happens. Somewhere something happens. So I hope I'm wrong. And see, this is another thing. Hunt for Wolverine, Mystery in Madripoor, issue #3. And I got to agree with Kat. It's Batman. Damn it, Ryan, he spoiled it. Ryan spoiled it. It's Batman. Thank you, Ryan. See, now we know Batman is in the Marvel Universe. Thank you, Ryan. Spoiled the whole thing. Ruined it. 0 stars. Not reading it anymore. Batman killed that. You know, Batman would be one of the... Yeah, Batman, I can see that.
Batman?
Yeah, he has the methods to do it. Anyway, beside the point, though. Another mini that is going on a bit too long. So Kitty is off to save her friends. Magneto breaks free and now wants revenge. And Psylocke or Rachel declare no more. I think it was Psylocke. No more souls, and that's like a big X-Men House of M reference. You know, no more mutants. So now all of a sudden there's like a no more this, that, and the other thing when it comes to X-Men. But I agree with Kat. The artwork is kind of getting sketchier the further we go with this. And at this point, like I was saying, the only one that I truly am enjoying from part 1 all the way through to part 3 and looking forward to part 4 is Adamantium Agenda. If you want to get any of these 4 minis, Adamantium Agenda, which feels like an extension of New Avengers, that's what you want. You definitely don't want Claws of a Killer. Oh my God, you don't want that. You don't want Weapon Lost, because unless you're a Daredevil fan. If you're a Daredevil fan, get Weapons Lost. And then you don't want Mystery of Manticore because the artwork is kind of going off center, and it's really not about Wolverine anymore. It's about Madripoor, and now it's about, you know, Magneto's free. What's going to happen now? Marvel 2-in-1, Thing and the Human Torch is issue number 8, which, by the way, it was announced that the 2-in-1s are going to be like a second Fantastic Four title after the FF come back. I like Weapon Lost. See, I like Daredevil, so I'm okay with Weapon Lost. I believe Weapon Lost is my third, but now it's moved up to my second because Mystery of Manticore kind of took a dive. So it's my second, Brent. I will say it's my second. JD, my favorite Funky Bunnies. I'm personally done with these Wolverine ties. Tevia, you're done. It's over. You're done. I'm glad you're done with the Wolverine crossovers because it's over. We're done now. Mystery of Manticore Part 3 of 4. Next month. This month is the last month to the tie-ins. You're done because it's over. So, that was Mystery of Manticore. Interesting book, but second place moved up to Weapons Lost, like Brant said.
I reviewed this also for Frontline. Punisher issue number 228 of Punisher War Criminal Part 5. The final conclusion to the Punisher War Criminal story arc. And what I have to say about this book is that, first of all, the Punisher versus Iron Man was a great fight, nonetheless. But my favorite part I want to say about this book, skipping the rest because you guys can read it. The best part of this book was when Rhodes, the owner, the original owner of the War Machine suit, comes to talk with Frank Castle because they were in the Marines, I think, or the Army, whatever. Like they were, it was Colonel Rhodes and Lieutenant, something like that, or the other way around. And what Rhodes said to Frank was that, you know, what are you doing inside that suit? Like, it's not, the decisions that you're making are not good. Like, if you want to be like one of the good people, instead of like doing like all this, like I understand you lost this and that and all that, but what good is it going to be if you keep doing it more? Something like that. And he got out of that suit. That right there was a heartfelt moment in this comic book that I really enjoyed. And here's the thing, though. They caught him, you know, in the suits back with Nick Fury and all that other stuff. We see Bucky and Black Widow, who are telling the policeman or the SWAT team, excuse me, but you have someone in that truck that you have to give to us. And guess what? That starts in Punisher issue number 1. All the renumbering. All the way to number 1. And the thing that I felt was cheesy to quote, like saying, out of the suit, out for blood. Now, we all know the Punisher's always out for blood because he's always out for vengeance. He does punish things and everything. I mean, that's not something new.
It's Castle.
We already know.
What did he expect?
We already know he's out for blood and revenge and stuff like that. It's nothing new, right? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's not something new.
I expected powder kegs and skeleton ships, but that's Sea of Thieves right now.
Yeah. Going to digital now. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 2. In this issue, what I liked about is that the Lizard actually, from what we talked about last time, Frontline Live, we see that the Lizard is not stuck as the Lizard. He could change from Lizard to Kirk Connors whenever he wants with the chip behind his neck, which I thought was kind of taking away the Hulk, except the
Debbie
Hulk
asked a
chip
question.
What's Sevilla? So did Tony Stark kick? No, it was actually a tie. That's what you mean by that. And they have a talk with we have Taskmaster and Black Ant who appear in this issue that try to destroy the lab, and then Spidey comes in to save the whole thing. And I liked how the way he turned into Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And he actually, in the end of this issue, meets himself, like saying, wait, you're Peter Parker. It's like saying, and you're Spider-Man. Now, at first, I thought this was going to be the Doc Ock Peter Parker, but from what they said, it all makes sense because the machine that Kirk Connors showed to Peter Parker was something of the experiment of making two people, so it could be his clone from the machine.
Don't say the C word.
What? The clone?
That's an ugly dinosaur. That's the lizard, JD.
Yeah, but look, I'm just saying that I thought it was Doc Ock because of the whole thing of what's going on with Spider-Man, and there is still that Doc Ock who is trying to be Peter Parker. The second.
All right, we're moving into DC, and we're going to start with the metal titles. Title. Terrifics, issue number 6. I enjoyed it. The end of Metamorpho versus, I forgot what this, it's on the cover, I think.
What?
No, it says Ghost of the Past. I forgot the bad guy Metamorpho was fighting against. But then you also have somebody else who's been watching everything that's going on. Go all the way to the second to last page, it'll tell you. But anyway, they're fighting this dude who wants to basically switch places with Metamorpho. He wants Metamorpho to become the Guardian, and he wants to become free. And they get the Eye of Ra, or the Sphere of Ra, and fix the whole world. Trap the other guy back in there. And apparently Metamorpho is cured. He's now human as well. And then we find out this dude, Dr. Dredd, has been doing and setting all these things into motion since Mr. Terrific has returned to the main DC universe, and now his main target is Tom Strong, because Tom Strong's the only one that has the answers Mr. Terrific is searching for. To be continued. So Dr. Dredd is going to be the big bad guy.
Oh, now I know why you said not to say the C word.
Yeah.
I said it's my thought, Heavier. I didn't say it was stamped on approval. I said it's a thought.
So I wasn't going to read this. I wasn't. But because we were late, I decided to punish myself for being late by adding this to my pile. DC
What?
Beach Blanket Bad Guys Summer Special.
Okay.
It was an interesting book. This was an interesting book. I will say my favorite stories in here were Giganta's. Penguin's story was a bit of a twist. Mr. Freeze's, I want to reread it because I feel like I read it and I read it too fast. But there were some really good stories in here, and it was an enjoyable read. If you want to enjoy something to read, definitely check it out. I believe Mike X'd it out too fast. I believe it was a $10 book. If it is, I would say...
I think it was. Oh, wait, I could go back, actually. I have a thing up still.
So
go ahead.
If you can go back.
I'm going.
I thought that it was a nice composite of smaller stories.
Yes, it was a $10
It's
book.
a $10 book, though.
Page.
But it is an 80-page giant, as Michael just said. So it's up to you if you want to spend the money. A lot of it is Batman villains. So, I mean, if you're a Batman fan, you will want to check that out. When is your book set? After this?
After this, yeah.
All right, so I'll do
I was
this.
going to do 3, then mine.
I need a 2-second break.
All right, well, after this.
Okay. No, I'm asking.
Yeah.
Hal Jordan of the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 49. We all saw this coming. Hal Jordan, using Hector Hammond, has separated the controllers from the machine, so now all of the Dark Star's minds are no longer linked. And then John Stewart sets up a disruptor, so now their suits can't teleport away when there's danger. So the Green Lanterns start wailing into the Dark Stars. It's Hal Jordan versus Tomar 2. And it's just an all-out brawl. And I love the last page, and I love where they left it off with Hal Jordan saying, when you're back in your science cell and people ask you, you'll say what everyone else who's come across me says. His will was stronger. Nothing can beat Hal Jordan's will, and it's true. It's true. Nothing can beat Hal Jordan's will. And I think the next issue is the last issue for Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. However, all the Green Lantern titles are ending, and we're getting Green Lantern, which is going to focus on Hal. And then I believe there's talk about a Green Lantern Corps or a Corps-esque book coming out soon after. I mean, there's rumors. I'm sure they're not just going to want to forget about Kyle, Guy, and Kilowog and all the other characters that we would like to see more of. So I'm hoping we get a Corps book. It'll probably be it'll probably be next year. It might actually set up for next year. We'll have to wait and see. Michael, and I'll be back. Oh.
And I'm actually surprised I actually brought this back, but I knew that was coming out because we talked about Frontline Live months ago. Justice League Dark, issue number 1. A brand new team in some aspects in that sort of way, but long story short, this book actually talks about how Zatanna's magic went from being the magic she knew to why it's being chaotic and causing mayhem.
They're not letting go of one thing that's important. Justice League, no justice. They're not letting it go.
No, of course not, because it was mentioned in the book.
That's the spin-out for all the justice.
Yeah, and also, of course, you know, with Zatanna, there's also a John Constantine in this comic book, and he makes his little appearance about you know, the magic and stuff like that, and what's going to be going on. So we have Wonder Woman who talks with the chimp at the bar.
Detective Chimp.
I always forget that. And it's like a long, heavy dialogue about just them talking about what's to expect. You have Man-Bat, who surprisingly actually is in this issue and everything. For the, I guess, the Bat-Head serum that he had to become not so bad, as they said that he was. And you also get Swamp Thing, who actually makes his appearance and trying to probably be in the team. So what I'm seeing is that there's going to be this team right here as their future Justice League Dark official team. Zatanna, Wonder Woman, Detective Chimp, Swamp Thing, and some other guy.
I don't know why Swamp Thing looks like Sasquatch, but okay.
Not what he always looked like? Okay. Yeah, and then Man-Bat, of course, he has his going back into being, you know, Man-Bat, stuff like that, but, you know, there's just lots of answers that need to be said of why all this magic is going around and crazy. But we'll find out more about that when we read more of Justice League Dark and see what goes on. Yay, Constantine. Yep.
Batman Detective Comics 985. So, oh God, why did his name leave my mind? No, his name left, and they don't mention him there. So Bruce is trying to figure out who Karma is. And then at the same time, you have, oh God, I can't believe his name completely left my mind. Black Lightning, was it? Who's going to be training the kids, but the kids are saying that Batman's getting in over his head, and they're going to they're going to have to bail him out, basically. So instead, he's kind of taking their side and wanting them to explain to him exactly what's going to be going on. I know it's Karma. I meant the other person, Tevye. But Batman discovers Karma's identity because he goes back in his head. It is Black Lightning. Okay, thank you, Tevye. And he's like, oh, it's that dude from... And read the book, and it'll give you an explanation of who the person is. And this person just wants Batman to be pure Batman again because that's what the world needs. And he wants Batman to suffer the way he did, apparently. So... he's taking it out on the Bat family. So he kidnaps a busload of kids. He kidnaps a reporter. Unfortunately for the reporter, she's not part of the hostage situation. And says either Batman lays his family out dead in the middle of Gotham or the kids die. What's next? And Batman's kind of at a loss now. What do I do? I like this arc. I'm interested in where it's going to be going. Death in the family, kind of, except this bad guy wants the entire Bat family dead. like, and proof of the death. And then he's not. Yeah, no, actually, it is kind of like what the Court of Owls wanted. Yeah, it is. Action Comics 101. Brian Michael.
1001. So
101. 1001. Brian Michael Bendis starts his Action Comics run. And what's being focused on in Action Comics is the fires in Metropolis and the Daily Planet, where he's trying to inject life into the Daily Planet, except there's one little problem. And I love Brian Michael Bendis as a person, but as a writer, he writes all of his characters as sarcastic and snarky. And the problem is, I don't feel the characters that he's putting into the Daily Planet. And then we also find out that the character that looks like Miles, he was lying.
Here, bald guy.
He's lying. Yeah, he basically was paid by a bald guy, which Superman then, in his mind, makes a list of all the bald supervillains that would want to do this to Superman, and basically makes this list in his head of somebody who's trying to frame him for the fires.
Who is that?
We get introduced to who the bad guy for this 12-part arc is going to be. Go down. I forgot her name. It was what is it? I forget what her name is already. It's bad. Oh, the Red Cloud. Duh. The Red Cloud.
What
who's
they
like,
say, is it Lois Lane? Is it?
It's not Lois Lane. I believe the Red Cloud is the woman that's working in the Daily Planet that keeps trying to get to meet and talk with Clark, but Clark is always eluding her. And then the last page shows, and we already know this from solicits, Lois is back in Metropolis, hiding somewhere else, writing this big article, and you see a bunch of titles. And I don't know if Jor-El messed with her mind, with her brain. I don't know if Lois is writing something in those titles or just other things that she'll never write. But I don't like the solicit for what's coming in October. And if there's any truth to that solicit, I'm going to want Bendis off this book before his arc's even done. And the problem is, and now again, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt. This book would definitely be midway for me because I feel like it's okay, but it's not like where Dan Jurgens and Peter J. Tomasi had Superman. Tomasi had runs that we were like, eh. And then Jurgens, too. There were a few arcs where it's like it's going on forever. I understand that. I like them more than what I'm getting here, though. I feel it's midway. I'm not feeling, and I swear, if he said anything...
He said it again, just like last night. Like, why is Lois Lane back on Earth and where's John?
He's in space with Jor-El, period. That's it. There's nothing else, and you're going to ask this every week, Tevia, and I'm going to ignore your question from this moment on because we said this on Frontline Live as well. He's in space with Jor-El. That's where he is. It was explained in Man of Steel. We all don't like it, but we have to deal with it, and he won't be back probably for a year. Unfortunately, if I was in DC, they're kind of in a nice way telling you, deal with it, because the only arc we're going to have John in is going to be Super Sons, which takes place in the past. And this is also good, Tevia, because maybe Connor will be back within the year, because we got Bart back in Flash, which, by the way, Flash 51 was pretty good this week. I'm not reviewing it. It's a casual read, but I did read it. I enjoyed it. We might get Connor back this year. We might get Cassie back this year. You don't know. So I would rather they work on finding a way to bring Connor back and then bring John back and have them collide than have John there already and then Connor shows up and it's like, oh, he's Superboy now, but I'm Superboy. You know what I mean? If Connor comes back and he's Superboy, when John comes back and he's the new Superboy, it's going to be like, well, now what? And if John gets a book, will he be called New Superboy and Connor will be still Superboy? Will Connor get a new name? I mean, Connor's been Superboy since 1993. When was the death of Superman? 93? I believe whenever Superboy first came out, he's been Superboy. He's been Superboy for over 20 years. Maybe it's time that he becomes, his own character, like Dick became Nightwing. Who knows? But again, like Superman, Action Comics is just a middle ground book for me. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't garbage yet. But again, it's Brian Michael Bendis's version of characters, very snarky, very sarcastic, and it's just a story that, and it's on Instagram. Everyone on Instagram is giving the artwork high ratings, but the writing low, like 2-star rating. Now, I'm not being as savage as everyone on Instagram, because everybody on Instagram is also saying, take the underwear off. See, that's DC's fault. DC literally had Superman without the underwear for about 7 years, if not longer. People got used to without the underwear, and now people have to get reused to him with the underwear if DC doesn't cave. But if DC caves on the underwear, they sure as hell better cave on Brian Michael Bendis' writing also, because 90% of the posts were against Bendis' writing, or were against where the direction of the book is going. I am not a fan of where Bendis is taking Superman in general. He destroyed Kandor already, which can be undone. Now he's trying to mess with Superman's marriage with Lois. That will take a lot of writing to undo whatever thing he's trying to do. Again, out of all the characters for Bendis to get, I was praying it wasn't Superman, and it was. And I'm very nervous having him on this book. Now, I know Jay's okay with it. Jay's been enjoying what he's reading. I mean, Action was his number 5. It absolutely would not have been my number 5. It would be my 7 or 8. To be honest, it would be my 7 or 8. It's not amazing. It's not spectacular. It's not like, they say, we got a big name writing Superman. Great, so it's going to be an amazing story arc, right? No. It's not. It's middle ground. And you cut the books from double shipping to single shipping. You up the price $1 for Superman and Action always was $3.99, but you up the price for Superman and renumbered it for Bendis. I'm just not feeling Bendis on Superman. It's not his voice. His voice isn't fitting for Superman. Will it fit for another character? Quite possibly. I don't feel like he's got a fit on Superman. My opinion, welcome to disagree with it, but lots of other people are saying worse than what I'm saying. But some people are saying exactly what I'm saying. It's just not the right fit. I don't believe Bendis is the right fit for Superman. And first of all, second of all, Bendis should not have every single Superman title either. Third of all, because he has Superman, he wants Supergirl in space. All New Superman was canceled completely. And anything related to Superman has to go through him now. So basically, he has the DC side, the Superman side of the DC universe for the next year. Every other character is either gone, or like John is gone and Kara's gone, and John's story is a flashback. Kara's in space. And All New Superman, we don't know where the hell he is. He's in North Korea somewhere, or he's in China somewhere. That's it. That's all we know. And I don't like that. I don't like that he got full control of Superman. Even I love Dan Jurgens, but he didn't get full control of Superman. And everybody loved Peter J. Tomasi. He didn't get full control of Superman. Bendis at most should have 1 Superman title. 1. Not 2. And he's writing for both titles at the same time. 2 different stories that are kind of linked in Man of Steel. And then also he has like 5 or 6 other titles. His attention is not going to be what he's not going to do. I know by the time we're done with his run, and I pray that his run is only 12 issues, I truly pray that he's not on Superman for years and years and years like he does over at Marvel, because this run is off to a very bumpy start, and I'd hate to see Superman slip even further down my list, but this is definitely mid-ground at best. I'm sorry. I can't like it any more than middle ground. I don't hate it, but it could be so much better, and I feel like there's a lot of other stories to tell than what Bendis is telling. I really don't care about the character he introduced, and I don't care the direction, and I don't like that he's going to try to mess with the family. I don't. Last book, Doomsday Clock, issue number 6 or 5? 6 of 12. So we're halfway there, everybody. 1 more year, and we're done. Yes, I say 1 more year because Doomsday Clock is going to be every other month book. So we're not getting the next issue until September. And this was the Mannequin and I forgot what the other woman's name was, but it's their origin while also dealing with the Joker. Joker was, I like the present day stuff with the Joker. They have Batman Prisoner, and we get her backstory and how she met him and how they became, the people they are. And we get a little bit, what's his name? The comedian finds them and he's out to kill them, but of course Joker stops him. This was this was just like the Rorschach book. A lot of origin, very, very, very little to no story progression for the main present day story. So there was no story progression here, but you get a background on the two characters that we got introduced to way back in issue number 1. Please, Scott Snyder, please, if you can get this artwork moving and you can get this book moving a bit faster, get it back to a monthly, please. Because a lot of people, like, for example, Mike Spider Slayer said he's not going to read this book until it's in trade because it's too long to have every other month. And then every other book is an origin, so it's really every 4 months because the next issue will be continuing the story. And then what about issue number 8? Is issue 8 going to be another origin of another character? I don't know. Do you? I don't. So, again, it needs to be a monthly series again, at the very least. Not who's doing click through. Was it Jeff Johns? I'm sorry. I think you're right, Tevia. I could be wrong. Let me see. I think it's Jeff Johns.
Wait, let me click. Go ahead. I know.
But anyway, while Mike's looking, Jeff Johns is doing Doomsday Clock. Thank you, Tevia. Yeah, Jeff. I don't know why I was saying Scott Snyder. I'm thinking Metal. Jeff Johns, really, you got to move this book along, man. You got to get it back to a monthly. If you don't, then I see a lot of people jumping off until the trade and the ramifications. Then you're pushing the DC universe a year further with semi-rebirth, and it's no good. So between Bendis on Superman, Doomsday Clock being delayed, DC is definitely taking a tiny little itty-bitty trip. I'm hoping that they recover from this tiny little skip, and we get back on track. I mean, as far as Superman goes, it's one character. The rest of the DC universe, thank God, knock wood, is doing okay. But, yeah, I truly hope DC doesn't let Bendis stay on Superman until literally they have to kick him off, like the way Marvel had to kick him off several other books. I mean, Bendis could stay on a book for 5-6 years. I don't think I can live 5 or 6 years with Bendis as Superman. Truly don't. I don't know. I don't think I could. I think it'll end up just like the New 52 Superman, where I'll read it, but I probably won't even review it because it'll be like bottom pile almost all the time. Right now, it's middle ground. Right now, it's okay. Can it get better? Please. Can it get worse? Absolutely. Especially with Bendis' attention all over the world and back again. Like I said, he's already destroyed Kandor. He's already invented a character nobody cares about, and he's shoving down our throats. Now he invented a new character, the Red Cloud, for action. We'll see if we care about her in another issue or two. He's got that other woman in the Daily Planet who 90% is the Red Cloud. You got Supergirl off in space for a year. John is gone for the next year, and we've got like a flashback story, a 12-issue maxi series. I don't know. I truly, and then there's the whole Lois and Clark thing. What's going on with Lois? Is that Lois? Could it be somebody else? It could be. I don't know. So I hope it gets better. It could get worse. I just hope it, at the very least, stays in the middle ground for me. I don't want it to go any lower than it is right now. Any lower would be dangerous. And again, DC, do what you always do. Keep a writer on for one arc, move him on to another character. Let him float around for a bit. Don't let Superman go all the way down like he did for the New 52 for 52 plus months before you decide, okay, maybe it's a good idea to start a little bit of a change. You just built Superman back up. Do not make him sink again. Please. As a diehard Superman fan, I know people are okay with Bendis. There are a lot of people that are okay with Bendis. Like I said, Jay had it in his top 5. Jay's okay with it. And Jay is a Superman super fan. But Instagram says it all. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to DC Comics Instagram, look for a Superman picture with it like Action Comics 101 drop, and read the comments. Yes, there are people that are loving Bendis, but yes, there are a lot of people, a lot of people that are not liking Bendis. But then there's a lot of people that are also commenting, again, about the red trunk. So what can you do? People are people. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of lovers and there are going to be a lot of haters. But the haters are very vocal right now, and the lovers are far and in between. I'm in mid-ground. I'm not a hater, but I'm not a lover either. We'll see what happens. But with that, that's it for this review, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. Before we go, don't forget to check out Jesse, JLS Comics, live show tomorrow night, Comic Conversation. You've got on Friday, Reviews from the Batcave. Friday night live show. Go check that out. And then on Sunday, you got Sunday Morning Comics with Justin. And I believe also Jesse has another show. It won't be this week. It'll be next week. Called Super Chat, and that's on the weekend as well. Check those out. Next Tuesday will be Frontline Live, and let's hope that maybe next Monday the Dark Avenger comic book review will be on time. Fingers crossed. Depends how many books we have to read and how fast we read them. Now, thank you for being here with us. Scotty, Tevya, Alan was here. Brant was here for a time. We had JD with us. I don't know if he's still with us. I don't know if Toxic Rose is watching, but, not talking at the moment. We had Brian Blade, who showed up for a little bit. We had Reviews in the Batcave show up for a little bit. Legend Storm was with us at the beginning, but then left. And I believe that is it. So thank you all so much for being here. Huh?
Jeremy.
Oh, and Jeremy Renfro. Oh, my goodness. His comment went in the middle. Yeah. Oh, but he had work. That's why. He only commented once. He had work. So, Jeremy, thank you for popping in, man. I'm sorry I missed you at the beginning of the show. But as always, guys, now this is post-live, so now it is your turn, the viewer who's watching this post-live. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about the comics that came out this week. Like, dislike, agree, disagree, recommendations. It's your turn. Let us know how you like the books this week, whether you agree with us or not. Still would love to hear from you. And until next time, everybody, for the next episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review, take care. Oh, Jesse just made it as we're ending. Jesse, I did promote your show, thou. I did promote your show. No worries, Jesse. I had to start the show early. I'm not feeling too well. Probably gonna go and just chill for a bit now. I had to do the show a bit early. I'm sorry, Jesse. I know you usually pop on because it's 10:30 now, so you usually get on as we're doing the show. This is the normal time we start. Unfortunately, it's the time we're ending. Jesse, I'm sorry, man. Hopefully, we'll catch you on Monday. If we do it this coming Monday, or we'll catch you on the next episode. But definitely, as a post-live viewer, let us know in the comments what you thought about your stuff. Don't forget, tomorrow, Jesse's live show, Comic Conversation. Take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you all really soon in the next episode.
Hey, everybody.
Take care, everybody.